place of discovery. We know nothing about it. We're going to the moon, we're going to Mars, we're going to Pluto now, but we know nothing about our own planet. And the bottom line is you on the planet, you're just stuck to the ground. But the minute you jump into the water, you just fly, you're free.
What led you to go from advertising and communications to environmental warrior?
I mean, it's just part of my core and who I am, you know, at the end of the day. I mean, I knew this life of corporation wasn't really for me, and then I fully concentrated 100% of my life into, you know, working on meaningful stuff, starting to pick up a camera, just start filming, and then this diving was happening at the same time, and eventually I wanted to bring the two together, the imagery, the diving, and the meaningful. We looked at this issue of ocean change a bit like an advertising pitch. So how can we reveal things that is totally out of sight and out of mind to make it well known very quickly? Hence why we're having this camera that can survey vast areas. We came up with this concept of creating 360-degree panoramic images. The 360 comes from those three cameras that are at the front. Every time you press the shutter, it takes 3 shots at the same time, and then in post-production you can create one panoramic image out of that one shot, because 3 cameras are shooting at the same time. And basically for every dive we create thousands of panoramic images, and then when we put them all together, it's like you create a virtual dive. When I summarize it in one sentence, I'd say we take Google Street View underwater.
It's kind of daunting to jump into the ocean out here. Very few people have been diving here before, so it's very exciting.
Same drop off as last time, but a little bit further out to sea.
Just a tiny bit further out, so literally where we are right here, but at the same level as we were yesterday.
Yeah.
You two going first, then I'm going next.
Yeah.
I follow him. I follow the French one.
Yeah.
Always trust a Frenchman.
Today we have better lighting conditions, so hopefully we'll get a much better recording of the reef.
You can see fairly healthy coral, lots of marine life, lots of small fish everywhere, so that's good, it's good to see. These are extremely important environments. They only represent 0.1% of the surface of the ocean, but they're home to 25% of all marine biodiversity. This project has been about creating this vital scientific baseline of coral reefs environments, because you've had in the past many people doing studies, you know, maybe people taking photographs using different protocols, so you can never compare. You can never have a well-defined baseline, but this is what we do. We do that baseline everywhere we go around the world the same way, so you can compare. And then you can revisit them over time, monitor change and see what's going on between the time we went and 4 years later. You revisit again and you monitor what's happening. And the beauty about it is we've got an open source platform that has every single image we've ever taken ever since we started, that's free to use for every single scientist around the world. For us, equally important is the communication of the science. 50% communication is pretty much the balance, 50% science, 50% communication. So that same imagery that's being used by scientists, because it's a 360, is used the same way, if you like, on Google platforms. Because it's effectively it's Google Street View underwater, right? So Google is basically pushing the content on all their platforms.
The feeling I have is that you're giving people a very positive message. There's this idea of wanting to inspire people about the oceans and help them immerse themselves into a world that they might not have the opportunity to do. Particularly this dive in a warship. I mean, that's something not very many people get to do ever.
It's very difficult for the general population to grasp the big changes that are required to save the oceans. So our take was showing the beauty of it so that people start caring for something they've never seen before, really, and start loving it. And so many things going on down there that we don't know about, and it's just mind-blowing that we know so little about it. It's just an amazing place to be because you never know what's going to happen and you never know what's around the corner. It's a worthwhile journey, that's for sure.